Hey, this is about the third time I tried to do this video. The first time, dogs were barking next door. Second time, my mother interrupted, came and started talking. So, third time lucky, hopefully. I don't remember where I left off on my second video. But let's just, so I got diagnosed with bowel cancer, stage 3C, in July 2014, but I'd been sick for 2 years before. So since I was 25, I've been sick. When I was 27, I got diagnosed. When I was 26, I actually had an operation to fix it. Doesn't sound right. 25 is when I can pinpoint it from, when I, realised or became aware of being in pain every day or feeling nauseous all the time, because for the first few days you just ignore it and just think, it'll go away, something I ate, whatever. And then it's like, okay, this has been going on for 2 weeks now, so maybe it's something. It's totally on my face. So yeah. I finished chemotherapy in April 2015. I had 8 rounds. It was supposed to be over 6 months. It ended up being over about 8 months because my bloods kept being bad. So they had to wait a week for them to get better, or wait 2 weeks, depending on, one of my things. I wasn't going to be on chemo for Christmas, and then I actually ended up being on chemo for Christmas, just the way it worked out. So you can imagine how that Christmas went. So since chemo, April 2015, I've had a couple of scans. One in September 2015 actually revealed 2 spots on my liver, which my oncologist informed me was secondary liver cancer. And for about a week and a half, my head was not on my shoulders. He told me I'd need to have a portion of my liver removed. He probably wouldn't put me forward for chemotherapy again because I didn't do too well on it. So myself and my family all sort of thought, this is it, she's going to die, blah, blah, blah. I went to the Christie in Manchester, and they did a PET scan, a PET CT, with the radioactive stuff. So I had to sit in a room for an hour, which was kind of odd, but also kind of peaceful, with the light off, because apparently the radioactive stuff, if you're, say, on your phone or reading a book or whatever, the majority of it will go to where you're using your muscles, so your eye. When it's not trying to look at your eye, it's trying to look at your liver. So I literally just had to sit in this room for an hour in the dark, which was fine. Then I had my very first MRI back at the hospital I've been treated at. That was very scary. It's a lot closer than you expect it to be. And I was just kind of running through the whole, as you do, I'm not going to make it, this isn't good, all that fun. Yeah, sorry. So I was a bit of a wuss on that one, and I did start crying halfway through. I sort of just panicked and started crying, but I managed to hold it all together to get the test done. And the results about a week later, along with the CT results, the CT PET scan, it actually wasn't secondary liver cancer, it was just 2 benign tumours. So my body still grew something it shouldn't have grown, but it didn't grow cancer, so far so good. So yeah, no more chemotherapy, no more surgeries, hopefully. I do still have scans. I had my first colonoscopy about a month ago. The good thing with that is, right after it, they tell you whether you're okay or not, and mine was all clear. Again, a little panic on the table. Just as they're giving me the injection, it was just sort of going through my head, what if they find something, da-da-da-da. And I just started crying, and the nurse held my hand, and then I was out, and then I woke up, and it had been done, and some guy was complaining about he needed a sandwich because he was starving. So I totally don't remember any of it. I remember saying ow one time, but I don't remember why, and I don't remember feeling the pain that I said it to. So if you have to go for a colonoscopy, tick the sedation box, because that's the best one. You can choose to be awake for it with gas and air, but it's not recommended, and now I've had the sedation, although I haven't had the other one, I know I would go for sedation again. I think it allows you to be more relaxed anyway, so that they can have a proper look. If you're like tensed up and stuff like that, I think that they could miss stuff, so that's just my preference. Sorry if the birds are overriding my voice. Yes. So I'm feeling a lot better. Kind of regaining my strength. I'm going to the gym quite a lot. On a Kickstart program, which is kind of through your doctor, which if you're in England or Wales, you should be able to go to your doctor and ask for a exercise referral, where they'll refer you to the gym, and you do still have to pay, but it's a lot more affordable. Having been out of work and stuff, and finances go a bit squiffy when you're ill. So yeah, it's a big help to have it be cheaper and more affordable. I generally go about 3 times a week. One of those times that I go, if not 4 times a week, and one of the times that I go is a specific gym class geared towards people with anything, cancer, fibro, MS, anything. And it's all like, people do what they're able to do. Like, my scar is on my right side, so when it comes to doing this arch thing as I'm stood up that way, I can't do it. So she just says, I'll just do some squats, so you can do the other side one, but when you can't do that one, just do something else, just to keep up the movement. You're supposed to advance to the next stage of the class, and I would have a couple of weeks ago, but the class is very big, and since I've been stuck in hospital a lot, I'm finding that my anxiety with crowds is a bit, well, not that it's crowded, but I can kind of cope with like 8 to 10 people in the room, but like 20 to 30 is too much. Like, going to the supermarket kind of freaks me out a bit. So I tend to go early or late when it's quieter, not after school. What else do I need to say to you? So, like, this video is mostly just for awareness, like my other videos. And I don't regret doing my other videos, I struggle to watch them. I'm really pale, I look very skinny. Being skinny is not fun. Don't care what you say, it's not. When you put your knees together and the bones are rubbing, ugh, that's not good. And when you sit in the bath and your butt hurts because your bone is touching the bottom of the bath, that's not fun. So I've put weight back on, but I do find it really hard to... I found it hard. I'm not happy with the weight I am presently. I'd be happier if I was about half a stone lighter. But I found it really hard to go with the swings and roundabouts of having half a bowel and actually trying to lose weight, because if I eat something that didn't agree with me for a couple of days, I'll be going to the bathroom. And sometimes I go around the kitchen like I'm Pac-Man. I can't get full. It's a horrible feeling. They do recommend that if you have any kind of bowel surgery, particularly because you're missing a portion of digestion, which you'll never get back, 5 small meals instead of 3 big ones, which I'm trying to do. I manage it with breakfast. I do manage it with lunch. After that, I go a bit, and I sort of forget by the night. So I've managed it 1 or 2 days, but not enough. I have found it to be better, I gotta say. Just a smaller bowl of cereal instead of a big one. You're still supposed to snack. Each to their own. I can't deal with yogurt. Some people can. I can deal with milk in cereal, but not milk in hot drinks. It makes me feel nauseous for the rest of the day. So it literally is just finding what suits you as a person, what suits your bowel after surgery, after cancer, after chemo as well, and also what you're willing to have a bad day for. Because sometimes you just feel the urge, you feel like you've not ate anything that you actually wanted to eat. The other day, I really just wanted some chips, so I was out with my second cousin, and I just decided to get some chips. And I said, I'll pay for this later. And for the next 3 days, I paid for it. So, I know I shouldn't have had them, and if I was having them at my house at home, they would have been air-fried, not fried in oil. So, they would have been better for me. But I was out and about, and you can't exactly ask your local kebab shop to cook them differently. So, yeah. If anybody's curious, I only lost my fringe during chemo. And I had this baby fringe going on, which I still occasionally have it going on. It looks like spider's legs coming down my forehead, and I really don't like it. I'm kind of glad I didn't lose all my hair, but equally I think if I had have lost all my hair, I would have felt less conscious about this whole spider thing. So I was like permanently putting hairspray and like flattening it down like that and keeping it like that. Chemo is rough. It's probably one of the toughest things I'll ever go through after surgeries, after struggling without any help or without the proper help for almost 2 years. It was 18 months. Yeah, sorry, my brain. This is what I wanted to mention. Being on chemo is really tough, but being off chemo, after chemo effects, I can't feel my fingers. I have peripheral neuropathy in my feet and my hands. Occasionally I get a little tingling on my scalp that I got during chemo, which feels the same, like peripheral neuropathy. I don't know if I've got any feeling back since I stopped chemo, but it feels different. I don't know if I just got used to how it feels, but it still feels like trying to feel my own hand through a glove. I won't put pictures up, but I have, because of that, cut my hands lots. At one point I had a splinter in here I didn't notice for like 2 days, and then I noticed this lump, and I have pictures of each stage of it coming out, which is kind of gross, but it just amazed me that I'd missed it for 2 days. This piece of wood had been in my skin enough to heal over, and then I was like, what is that? You know, foreign body and all that. My chemo brain, like a lot of oncologists will tell you, it doesn't even exist, and I have to say, excuse the language, but that's absolute bullshit. It does exist. There are so many things I don't remember, can't recall, can't think of the word, and that just isn't me. And I don't believe that that's just, oh, it's the stress you've been through, blah, blah, blah. It's like me is missing. I can lose my keys and I can find my keys. I can't find me, and I wish I could, and I hope I do. I'm reading a book at the minute. I'll try and put it in the description because I can't remember who wrote it, but it's called My Brain After Chemo. About 2 chapters into it. I really am enjoying it. I found this thing I want to be tested for. Sorry I say a lot, it gives me time to think. It's anti-something or other, or... yeah, I'm not going to remember it. I'll try and put it in the link again. So, it's something to do with... something like you're prone to memory loss if you have this thing and get cancer, or something like that. I don't know. I know I want to be tested for it, and it can be found in your blood, so it's a simple enough test. Oh yeah, bone pain, which I'm actually getting a blood test for tomorrow. All my bones, like even my fingers, they hurt constantly. It's worse in the morning, and I kind of just lie there for a bit until my hands like stop hurting and stop being so like tensed. I had really bad myalgia, which is just like joint pain, muscle pain, probably June 2015, so about a month after chemo. It kind of hit me all like that. I went to the doctor, and I forget if he gave me medicine or he just sort of said, like, go deal with it, I forget. But that soon went, but about a month ago it's come back. Not actually as bad as it was, because it was every bone. Bones you didn't know you had, muscles you didn't know you had. Everything hurt. Like right now my shoulders are fine, my feet hurt, my hands hurt, my elbows hurt. My hips occasionally, but that's it. My neck doesn't, my shoulders don't, my wrists don't, but my hands do. So yeah, chemo is not the end of the story. I wish it was. In this book I'm reading, it says that you can recover from chemo brain, but it could take 5 or 10 years. Which, when I read that, I sort of just think, I hope I live for another 5 or 10 years. Because I don't know. Nobody knows, so. It would just be nice to have my own brain back. You could ask anybody in my family, and they would be like, oh, go and ask Penny when so-and-so's birthday is, because she'll remember. And I'm still quite good with birthdays, to be fair, I haven't forgot. But, like, my friend Cheryl, if you're watching this, I did not forget Kevin's birthday, but I did forget what day, like, the date in the week. I could not and cannot still follow, okay, it's Monday today, which means it's the 30th. It's Tuesday today, which means it's the 31st. It's Wednesday today, which means it's the 1st. I can't follow that. That is gone. I hope it comes back, and it's the first time it's gone ever in my life, except for, like, when I was on school holidays, and, you know, you'd be in your middle of your 6 weeks, and you'd be like, I don't know what day it is, and I don't care, I haven't got school. You know, you just wouldn't be fussed, because it wouldn't matter. So I spaced Chrissy's birthday, so Chrissy, if you're watching this, I love you and I'm sorry. I didn't space Kevin's birthday, I just totally forgot it's today. And then I very nearly did the same with Nick's, even though I know it's right next to Kevin's. So I'm sorry, and I do love you all. And I wish I could change the way things are presently, but I really can't. I'm trying. I've been playing brain games on, I think it's called freerice.com. So freerice.com. And if you believe it, I don't know if it's true or not, but if you play the games, you win like grains of rice, and then they're supposed to send them to deprived countries. Which, if it's true, wow, that's so amazing. But if it's that simple, I don't understand why they can't just send it anyway. So I'm a little bit like on the fence as to whether it works or not. But there are word games, going back to my whole point. And it's supposed to just, you pick out the meaning of this word and you take which word means this thing. So it's a memory thing. So it's trying to build up your memory. So I do that. I play Merged, which it's not totally memory, but a lot of it is knowing how to do a sequence. So I do that. I do still do word searches. I love word searches. Crosswords have not really ever... They do interest me. I just generally suck at them. Word searches is more my level. I can't think of anything else I'm doing brain-wise to... I mean, I'm getting sleep, but I haven't got proper sleep since I was about 17, so I'm getting as much sleep as I can. I have decided to... I'm gonna dedicate a notebook to being like my external hard drive, my spare brain, because there are just some things that I'm just not retaining anymore. So even if it's just for a month, it might end up being for a year, but just for a month I'm gonna try carrying this notebook with me everywhere and writing everything down. Like, you know, Mum asked me to do this, I need to buy that, so and so told me this, because my mum asked me to do a few things, and at the start of the whole chemo thing, she didn't totally get it, and she would get mad at me if I'd forgot to do it, which is fine, it's understandable. But then as it went on, if she asked me to do something else, I would actually say, can I go do it now instead of in half an hour like you've just asked, because I know I'm going to forget. So we've adjusted a few things. Sorry, bird in the tree. Back to the whole stamina thing. I've started riding a bike again, which I'm enjoying. I suck on stuff I can normally do, like hills. I have to get off and walk the bike. I used to have that like little turbo thing. I don't know if anybody out there does running or cycling and they know what I'm on about, but you'd be like running at a pace or cycling at a pace you're good with, and then you just have that chance to be like, and go a little bit faster because you wanted to, or you were being chased, or whatever. Like in football with my nephew, which I can do now again, I can play with him again. It'd be like I'd be running at a pace he can cope with, and he's quite good at tackling, but when I have the ball, the only thing I have against me is my speed. I am faster than him, so I'd like... I'm getting that back a little bit with the running, but I have a bad back, I always have, so running's not really my thing. Cycling is, I just don't have that turbo with the cycling. I need to get my bike fixed. But yeah, I'm in the process of doing all that. This video is going to be extremely long, and I am sorry. So, to sum up, there is life after cancer. There is life after chemo. But chemo is not the end of the story. And you need to sort of be your own advocate, because the doctors are playing a money game, and they won't refer you for tests you might need, or the more expensive tests which would give them the answer quicker, or whatever. It's a game thing with money, like the EU referendum thing. But you're playing with people's lives. So be your own advocate. If you think something's wrong, if that's your gut instinct, you need to phone up a hospital, maybe even get Bupa and do it that way. I priced up the endoscopy for Bupa. It was like 200 and something, say like £95 for instance, and that was for a camera down my throat, which in theory, now knowing what it was, bowel cancer, it was the wrong way and it wouldn't have helped me. But that's where my doctors were leading me, saying that I have maybe celiac or a soy thing, and I thought myself, I'm such a stress head, I've given myself an ulcer. So I need the camera to go down and see, hey, if it is an ulcer, and if it is, let's deal with it, you know, whether it's meds or, I don't know if you remove ulcers these days, I've not got a clue. But if I'd have paid that money, it wouldn't have got me anywhere. And then even if it would have been the right test, it's then taking that piece of information back to your doctor and trying to get your doctor to then take you to the next step. And I don't know how that all works. But you just need to do whatever you can, because the earlier it's caught, the more preventable, the more curable, etc. it is. I was very lucky, and mine was almost stage 4. And that still might have a hold on what it has in store for me in future. That remains to be seen. But if you can catch it stage 1, stage 2, and get the right treatment, it's definitely beatable, and you can reclaim your life. And I'm not totally done that yet, but I'm getting there. So I hope these videos help. Not many people are watching them, but for me, as long as I can just help one person and have that, like, one person say, oh, that sounds like me, you know. I've had a bit of bleeding, or I've had stomach cramps and nausea or acid, you know, like a heartburn. Just go to your doctor, your body's doing that for a reason, you know. And yes, if you just ate a strawberry or a tomato, something that's acidic, then if you can connect the dots, hey, after I eat tomatoes, my heart kind of burns, or my belly burns, you know, maybe that's just, let's not eat that tomato. Well, let's drink some milk before we do. But maybe it's something different, and it's worth going and getting help. I'm sorry for rambling, and thank you for keeping up with me. I'm doing a lot better. I'll try and do another video soon. I don't know if I already said, I've rambled so much. My scans have now been moved back to every 6 months, because the last time there was anything on my scans was September 2015. We're now June 2016, and my last scans, how many have I had now? 1, 2, 3. I've had 2 or 3, I forget, but each time now I have to have an MRI as well, so I have a CT and an MRI, so you're talking either 4 or 6 tests that I've had. They've now pushed it back to every 6 months, because I've had a few clear ones in a row. So my next scan is see, it was March. Was it March or was it April? September, my next one, I believe. September, October. But in between, they want me to just go in and touch base and have a blood test in July. I'm also having a blood test tomorrow for the whole achy bone thing. My doctor wants to check me again for rheumatism, but I've had it come back negative so many times that I think this one will be negative as well. But yeah, the CEA, the cancer marker, I'm getting tested for that in July. And I had a test for that in January. But mine actually didn't help me. So sometimes you can have a positive result but not have cancer, and sometimes you can have a negative result but have cancer. So sometimes your body just doesn't give off the right markers that it needs to, which means doctors do sort of just go, hey, you're fine, because your bloods are fine. But if you feel tired all the time, if you hurt after you eat, stuff like that, then that's your body telling you you're not fine, go get some help. So sometimes it's worth asking for that second opinion. I'm gonna go. Sorry for such a long video, this will take forever to upload. So, you've took forever to watch it, I'm gonna take forever to upload it. Thank you for watching.